Hello friends, welcome to Shakti's Knowledge Hub. Myself Dr. Shakti Suganya. So today's discussion is about the continuation of the previous video's discussion about the topic MBO, that is management by objective. We are going to discuss about its process, that is the step by step activity of one particular thing is called as the process. So today's discussion is about the process of MBO. What are all the step by step procedure the management by objective approach will implying in the organization. So in that, the first one is defining organizational objective. The very first work or the very first approach by every organization or every activity will be the objective setting. So just like that, in case of MBO also, it is very important, and the first step is like defining the organizational objective. Without fixing the objective, it is not possible or no use of running or working in the organization. So everyone should be very much clear about the objectives of organization. So being in that aspect, the first process of MBO is defining the objective. Initially, the organizational objectives are framed by the top level management, but now in hands of the others too. First, the long-term objectives are framed, then the short-term objective. Starts with the short-term objective to reach the long-term objective easily. In the introduction itself, we have discussed about the nature of MBO, that is what is the approach by the MBO is like a friendly approach or the connecting work by the superior as well as the subordinate. So just like that, initially, while setting or structuring the objectives of the organization, the top level management will be framing the objective. This was the earlier case, but it is not like that at the present. That is, any organization who is implementing the approach of MBO, definitely there will be a participation by each and every individual in the organization to fix its objective. And also, what they will do is they will fix both the long-term objective and the short-term objectives. So, what is the thing to be achieved in the particular period or for the short period, and what will be the long term period, what we will be after 10 years or 20 years. Likewise, the long term objectives of the organization, each and everything will be fixed in a proper manner. And how they will start to work? First, the short term objective. So in the previous example in the last video, we have discussed the short term objective is like the production, like the one day production or one particular period or one particular project or to be completed could be the short term objective. And what will be the long term one? What will be in the future, that is after 10 years or 20 years, where my organization will be or in what position my organization will be. Likewise, some of the objectives will be there. So what they will do, first they will start to work with the short term objective. Once after crossing the first step only, we could move to the second step and finally to the reaching point. So just the same, they will start to work with the short term objective and they will reach the long term objective easily. The second process is goals of each section. Goals are objectives of each section, department, divisions, etc. Specifications of period to achieve the objective. So what is the second process is goals of every section. Each and every section or maybe department or maybe divisions or anything there are, because plenty of departments or plenty of people will be working in the organization. So instead of stopping to identifying the organization goal, the team or the organization members will identify the goal or objective of each and every individual, each and every section, and also department and divisions, etc. So they will find it and will be fixing the same, and also they will make the period specification. So in which period or in which boundary or which time limit we have to achieve that objective. Likewise, each and everything will be set in a prior manner in a proper way. And the third process is fixing the key result area. So this key result area is shortly called as KRA. This maybe sometimes will be asking as a question in MCQ, like what is the expansion of KRA. Likewise, key result areas. Key result area is fixed on organizational objective and arranged on priority basis. So key result area, in which area a focus is to be made to achieve the result of the organization, the focusing area or the focusing particular aspect, that is called the key result area. So that they will prioritize and identify. On that basis only the organizational objective will be structured or framed. Key result area indicates the strength of the organization, and automatically that becomes the strength of the organization. So some of the examples like profitability, market standing, innovation, this is all very much important for every business. No business is running to have their level without any profit. So profitability is very much important, and also market standing, to withstand in the market for a long period of time, like market leadership or something. And also innovation, like mobile as an example, we had a discussion in some of the videos, like if there is no innovation, if you are in the same stable level, means it will be very difficult to sustain in the competitive market. So the organization has to put all their effort in creating and have to bring with more innovations. And the fourth is setting subordinate objectives of target. Is subordinate or individual's objective to be fixed in quantitative units? Free discussion between superior and subordinates, and subordinates are allowed to do what they try or think. So as we discussed in the early topic, like in the introduction portion, we know that this MBO is an approach where the individuals, that is subordinates as well as the superior, will be working together. So they will have a discussion for each and every activity to be takes place in the organization. Automatically, if the subordinates is allowed to do a work, definitely that will help that individual to try to come up with new ideas or new suggestions or everything, and surely that will help to achieve the organizational objective. And the next process is matching the resources with objective. The available resources or the required resources to achieve one particular objective will be matching or will be calculating to achieve. There should be a proper match between the objective and the available resources. Example, technical personnel, raw materials, machineries and equipments, etc. Then the available resources should be properly allocated and utilized. Take an example, you need to manufacture 10 particular unit in that particular day. So what you need is the technical persons, the expertise or the qualified person to do that particular work, and also the required raw materials, the machineries and equipments. If everything is there, definitely that will help to achieve the organization goal by utilizing the resources in a proper way, and also allocation is also to be in a proper way, so they can achieve the goal easily. The next process is periodical review meeting. So they should not stop with the previous thing itself. They should conduct a review meeting, how the work is going on and in what is the stage each and every work is going on. Likewise, they have to have a periodical review meeting to identify and to have an idea of what is going on in the organization. So in that thing, superior and subordinate should hold meetings periodically to discuss the work and its progress. So here also both the superiors as well as the subordinate should take place in the, that is to take part in the meeting to identify what is its progress and what is the current status in a periodic manner. Next process is appraisal of activities. Have to appraise it, like after conducting the meeting or after the starting of the process, they have to identify the performances or work what is going on in the organization. At the end of the fixed period for achieving the objective, there should be a discussion between the superior and subordinate related with the performance against the specific standards. The superior should take corrective measures if there is any deviation. Superior should identify the reason for failure. So we have discussed about the standards to be fixed and the actual performances to be compared. After the progress has been started, it is very important to identify, that is the appraisal one, how the work is going on. So during the time, they have to compare the actual with the standards, what is going on at present and what is the standard we have fixed. If both are same, it is good. If the actual is good compared to the standard, it is well and good. The organization is going with a very positive sign. In case if there is any negative deviation, you can understand with this pictorial representation. Imagine this is the standard and actual, positive, and this is negative. You identify the, you can easily identify from the picture itself. Standard is there, so the work is going on as per the standard, that is the actual one, so it is okay. And if it is positive, that is high, it is well and good. And if it is negative, that is less than the standard, definitely it is not good for the organization. So it is the responsibility of the superior to identify the reason for failure. What is the reason this negative deviation occurs? Likewise, they have to appraise in a proper and periodic way. And the next process is reappraisal of objective. If it is positive, no problem, they can go with the actual and they can proceed as usual. Instead, if the result is finding as negative, they have to go with the reappraisal of the objective. They have to reconsider what is the problem in that objective. So we can take an example. Possible standard is 10 units. So it is good to have that 10 unit as a standard to perform in one day, means that is fine to perform by every individual. Instead of this 10, if any 100 is a standard fixed, means it is not at all possible to work. So this is where the place where the mistake happened. So they have to reappraise the objective, where the mistake happened, where is the problem. The objective itself is wrong. So they have to reconsider about the objective. Instead of having the 100, it is good to have 10 to fix as a standard for a one day performance, like that. Top management executive should review the organizational objective to frame the objective according to the changing situation. So depends on situation or depends upon the availability of resources and everything, and also based on the result they have to reappraise the objective. So the process is a step-by-step activity of MBO, the management by objective. And the next discussion is about the advantages of MBO. That is, if any organization is implementing the approach MBO, management by objective, means what are all the advantages that organization will have or will achieve. Managers involving in objective setting at all level, it ensures this hard work to achieve. So everyone's participation is there in the organization, and definitely they'll put their hard work, and that will help to achieve the organizational objective. This is the main advantage of having MBO. MBO helps the manager to understand their role in organization in total. So they can able to understand the role or nature of work by the manager as well as the employee, whomever it may be, or whatever the work they are doing, that will help to understand what is their role. And the third advantage is manager recognize planning needs and appreciate it. So they can able to identify what is the need, and they will appreciate it accordingly. And the next is MBO gives chance to the subordinates to take part in goal setting. So we have a discussion that definitely the individual subordinate also will take part in goal setting and each and everything. So it is a kind of motivation for the individual. So this is the advantage of having MBO approach. Each department's objectives are consistent with organizational objective. So in the previous topic we have discussed the organizational goal alone is not fixing. The department's objectives is also considered. So definitely that will help to match with organizational objective and achieve easily. Systematic evaluation is made. So each and every work is taking place in a systematic manner. Automatically the evaluation will also be takes place systematically. MBO helps to take corrective actions due to periodic reviews. So in the process we have seen one of the stage where the periodic reviews or appraisal will be takes place. So they can compare the actual with the standard. Delegation of authority is easy because of MBO. So their authority will be like friendly one. Each and every individual will have a communication with each other. So automatically that will be very easy if there is MBO approach in every organization. MBO motivates workers by job enrichment and make job meaningful. Because the organization or the management is allowing the employees to take part in each and every activity. So definitely that is a kind of job enrichment, that is their expansion in their work. Instead of doing one work, they will be doing so many works, and also they can know about many works, and that will make them to feel proud and their job as a meaningful one. And the responsibility of the worker is fixed. So their responsibility, they will be feel responsible by themselves in the organization. They will fix by themselves as well as the organization will fix something, and that will help to work easily. Decision is taken by the management very quickly. So everything is fixed, everything is proper and standard. Definitely it will be very easy to take decisions whenever required. So these are all the advantages of having MBO in an organization. And the next is about the disadvantages. Even though we have advantage, there will be disadvantages too. So everything will have both positive as well as the negative sides. So this disadvantages in the sense, during the time of implementing the MBO concepts, there may be some of the chances or possibilities that the MBO will be feel tough, or that may be a disadvantageous one. So let's see in what situations it is. The first is MBO fails to explain the philosophy. Most of the executives do not know the WH, that is the what and how of the MBO. So this is clearly mentioned that during the time of application, if any person who doesn't have a proper or a clear idea about MBO, means there will be a disadvantage, or there will be a difficulty. Like a manager who don't know what, when, where, how this kind of thing is happening in organization which is relevant to MBO, it will be a kind of failure model. And the second disadvantage is MBO is time consuming process and also heavy expenditure and requires heavy paperwork. So being so standard or being to be fixed, it will be definitely taking a time of doing or completing that particular progress. So that's why they are telling it is a time consuming process, one of the disadvantages, and also a high expensive one as well as very heavy paperwork in case of MBO. And the third is MBO emphasis only on short term objective. Some author or some people feels that this MBO will be possible only when or in the situation where the organization is about to achieve its short term goal, and they are insisting it is not applicable to long term objective. The next is the status of subordinate is necessary for the proper objective setting, but this is not possible in the process of MBO. So the other aspect of disadvantage of MBO is the status of the subordinate. So some kind of status or qualification is a point some people is considering that this is not good to involve subordinates during the objective setting and all, and that will not be good for the organization growth. So in that aspect they feel this is a disadvantageous one. And the last is MBO is a rigid. Objective should be changed according to situation. If not, planned result cannot be obtained. If sometimes the objective is going to be rigid, means it is not possible to proceed or will not be able to achieve the goal possibly. In that aspect, this MBO become a disadvantageous one. So in that way, some of the disadvantages were highlighted during the time of applications. In many way, it is advantageous one, but still there are some of the complications or some difficulties during the application, that is during the time of implementing the approach. So this is what this topic is about. Okay friends, with this we are completing our today's discussion, and we are going to see about management by exceptions, that is MBE, in our next video. If you have any doubt or clarification to be cleared, mention it in the comment box or mail to us in the mail ID given in about page. If this is the first time you are seeing the video, subscribe to Shakti's Knowledge Hub and don't forget to hit the bell icon for the future notification. See you all soon. Have a good day. Bye.